You can count on it, says passenger Devin Aguilar. A pickup from Uber at SeaTac Airport has made traveling for her a lot easier.
It's really convenient because a taxi is crazy expensive, and an Uber is just quick when I need it and on the way.
But Uber and other rideshare apps in Seattle could also be on the way towards some major changes.
So the owners for the companies has been taking a lot of advantage on the drivers.
Based on driver concerns about falling reimbursement rates, Councilmember Mike O'Brien sponsored and helped pass a measure in late 2015 to allow rideshare drivers to unionize.
There's nothing innovative about creating a whole new industry that is fueled on the backs of low-wage workers and forces a race to the bottom of working conditions.
The city law allows drivers to decide if they want to collectively bargain with rideshare companies and traditional cab companies, with the help of a qualified driver representative group like Teamsters 117.
I think the more working people stand in solidarity with one another, the more balance of power there'll be.
Dawn Gearhart is the policy coordinator for the Teamsters, which thus far is the only organization that stepped forward to be part of the city-run bargaining process. Rideshare and cab drivers are considered independent contractors and thus not protected by labor standards like Seattle's $15 an hour minimum wage.
They're forced to work a lot more hours every day just to make up the money that they've lost.
Gearhart says in a competitive market, Uber and other rideshares have lowered their reimbursement rates to drivers and have continually pushed back against unionizing efforts nationwide.
The goal of these companies, I think, is to make it so that nobody ever gets to the negotiating table. For workers, for drivers, for the Teamsters, we want to be able to have a seat at that table and to see if it's possible to improve working conditions.
The union doesn't want to give us a vote. They want union dues and money in their pocket. They don't care about the drivers.
But not everyone wants the Teamsters at the table.
The city is denying thousands of drivers a vote.
One controversial part of the city law says only drivers who've made 52 trips within a 3-month period in the past 12 months will be allowed to vote on whether to unionize.
Drivers have never had a voice in this ordinance.
Brooke Steger, Uber's general manager for the Pacific Northwest region, says the council did not listen to enough drivers in crafting its law.
If everybody could look down at your app.
That law says if Uber ends up in a bargaining agreement with the Teamsters, any driver who works for Uber will be required to join the union and comply with its rules.
And given the fact that drivers want that flexibility and they want to be able to work on demand, we are concerned that this ordinance is actually not good for drivers.
Uber has now filed suit against the city, expressing further concern that the company's list of drivers would have to be turned over to the Teamsters.
One of the resounding comments made by drivers is that they do want privacy protections. Unfortunately, the ordinance did not deliver any of the protections that the drivers asked for.
We want to make sure that the for-hire transportation industry remains safe and reliable and economically feasible.
Matthew Eng is a strategic advisor with Seattle's Finance and Administrative Services Department, which Eng says is working to administer the program the council approved and not take sides with unions, riders, or rideshare companies.
There is no advocacy role for the city.
Eng says the city's job at this point is simply to bring together rideshare or cab companies with drivers if they decide to organize.
I want to make sure that the program is up and running and able to give the various actors an opportunity to make the decisions.
It's a lot of buttons to press.
But up against a lawsuit from Uber and facing different pressures from a diverse group of drivers, it's not clear how the city's work to unionize rideshares will turn out.
The ordinance that the city of Seattle passed is fundamentally flawed.
This is the right thing to do, and so we're going to do it.